Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled in the hills, there was a small bakery known for its delightful pastries. The bakery was run by an old woman named Mrs. Willow, whose warm smile and gentle demeanor made everyone feel at home. Every morning, the aroma of freshly baked bread and sweet rolls wafted through the air, drawing villagers and travelers alike to her cozy shop. One sunny afternoon, a young girl named Lily skipped down the cobblestone streets, clutching a small coin in her hand. She had saved up all week for one of Mrs. Willow's famous apple pies. As she entered the bakery, the bell above the door tinkled cheerfully. "Hello, Mrs. Willow," Lily greeted, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Hello, dear Lily," Mrs. Willow replied with a kind smile. "What can I get for you today?" "I'd like an apple pie, please," Lily said, handing over her coin. Mrs. Willow nodded and went to the back to fetch a freshly baked pie. Lily waited, humming a little tune as she admired the colorful display of pastries in the glass case. But then the humming seemed to echo, distorting and growing louder, filling the room with an unsettling resonance. The lights flickered, and Lily's reflection in the glass case seemed to waver, her face momentarily appearing distorted and twisted. Mrs. Willow returned, but something about her seemed off. Her smile was too wide, her eyes unblinking. "Here you go, Lily," she said, her voice layered with an odd echo. Lily took the pie, trying to shake off the eerie feeling that had crept over her. As Lily left the bakery, the village seemed different. The shadows grew longer, darker. The once cheerful streets now felt oppressive. She glanced over her shoulder, and for a moment she saw the silhouette of Mrs. Willow standing in the window, her eyes glowing a dull red. Lily quickened her pace, her heart pounding. She reached her home and slammed the door behind her, breathing heavily. She set the pie on the table, but when she looked at it, the filling seemed to pulse and writhe, as if alive. She blinked, and it was just an ordinary pie again. That night, Lily couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, haunted by unsettling dreams. Shadows danced on the walls, and she could hear whispers, indistinct but menacing. She got up and walked to the kitchen for a glass of water. The house was eerily silent, save for the faint ticking of the clock. As she sipped her water, she noticed something odd in the corner of her eye. A figure standing at the edge of the room, shrouded in darkness. She froze, her breath hitching. The figure moved closer, and she recognized the shape of Mrs. Willow, her eyes still glowing. Lily tried to scream, but no sound came out. Mrs. Willow's face twisted into a grotesque grin, her mouth opening wider and wider until it was an inhuman, gaping maw. Lily's vision blurred, the room spinning. Suddenly, everything went dark. An overwhelming silence filled the air. Then, without warning, Mrs. Willow's face lunged towards Lily with a blood-curdling shriek, filling her vision completely. The screen goes black. Jump scare! In the end, the village woke up the next day as if nothing had happened. But the bakery remained closed, and Mrs. Willow was never seen again. Lily's family moved away, the memory of that night haunting her forever.